Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this card on my website. It has all the detailed directions and it's got all the cutting. And I also have links for the products that I used. And if you click those links, you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see where to find all of that on my video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm going to leave this so that I can see it. I don't know if you can still see it, but I might need to refer to this. I'm using Thoughtful Wishes and the Thoughtful Wishes dies, and if you buy them together as a bundle, you'll save yourself 10%. So, and this is a fancy fold card, and it shows, one of the things I like about it is it shows most of this paper. Let me show you some of this paper. It's just gorgeous. So it's kind of scenery. You get 4 sheets of each of these. Kind of watercolory. Most of these have mossy meadow in them. And I think I'm actually going to use this one for this card today. And there's another one. So pretty. And so I'm picking one card for here, one piece of the Designer Series paper. On the other side is kind of more washes that don't have scenery really. That one's got kind of scenery on both sides, I guess. I think I'm going to use this one for down here. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this side actually. So I wanted to wait to cut this up for you. I want this piece, and I want most of this to be up here to show. And so this piece of paper needs to be 6 by 5 3/8. 5 and 1, 2, 3/8, 1/8 less than 5 1/2. And then I'm going to cut this into 4ths. So I'm going to cut them each at 1 1/2, or I can go to cut this 6 by into 3 and 3, and cut this 3 into 1 1/2. And then I really want to put this back together the way it was. And I'm pretty sure, was it like that or was it like this? I think it was like that for sure. So I want to leave those in order. And then this piece, I want to have this by 2 7/8. And I'm not sure I care which side is up. Maybe I'll use this piece. So I want this 2 7/8. But I really want to cut 2 squares. So I'm gonna keep these in order too. So 2 7/8 and 2 7/8. This piece of paper is almost half a sheet. It's 10 3/4. So by 5 1/2. So I cut this at 5 1/2 and I cut off a 1/4. this piece that I cut from here is 3 inches, and this is not gonna fit on that one sheet of paper, so you'll need a second piece of cardstock. The one that's 6 inches, you're gonna score it at 3 inches. That's going to be this piece right here. This piece I'm going to score, and I will need my arm stretched out. So I'm going to score it at 1 5/8. So 5/8 is a 1/2 inch plus an 1/8. So right there, 1 5/8. 3 1/4, 4 7/8, and 6 1/2. So this piece is actually the basic 4 1/4. So I'm going to fold that there. That's going to be, this is going to be the inside of the card, and then this part gets fan folded. So this piece I'm going to cut this die and also this one. So I'm going to bring in my friendly die cutting machine. So I'm using this big beautiful piece and this one. I'm going to go ahead and cut these. Get you in the screen a little bit better. I like using the gray platform more than the white one. It seems to work easier for me, and it almost always does a perfect job of cutting. See if it did this time. I think actually I will run it through again, and I don't know if that is because I'm using the gray or if that's because it's time to replace this piece. But without moving that around, I'm going to flip this whole thing over and cut again. So now I've got the gray piece is still on the bottom. My clear plate, my uncut up plate, is on the bottom. My die is cut side up against the same cut up piece, and that did a nice job of cutting. And we have lots of confetti. And it seems whether it cuts all the way through on the first time or not depends on how detailed the die is, and maybe how large it is too. We'll see if it cuts all the way through on this one. And again, it may be my plate is worn out too much. This one seems to cut it out nicely. I just have a little tiny bit of stamping to do. I want "You Make Life Better." And this piece here. So the flowers go here on these two, and I'm using Mossy Meadow ink. And I think I was going to ink this up. Maybe I did. It looks pretty juicy. So I want this way down at the bottom. And I have a piece for the inside layer, and I did want that narrow border, so this is another one of those funny sizes, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I can actually put this where I'm going to be putting it to make sure I know where I want my words. So they're going to go right there, way at the top. And I'm getting my silicone mat out. And I'm going to go ahead and put glue on this. These are so delicate that I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on it now and let it have a chance to dry. Just putting little tiny dots on though. And again, if you have trouble controlling this, put the glue bottle where you want the glue. Hold it for a second. You don't have to rush. This glue is very thick and you can take your time. It won't run out anywhere. In fact, I store mine upside down, even sometimes with the top off of it, which it will leak out if I do that a little bit, but not too bad. So as you get better at putting just that dot on, knowing how much to squeeze it and where you need to put the tip, you can go faster. And I really just put a little piece of glue at each end of the piece and a little bit down the middle. And then I'll let that dry for a little bit until it's clear. I can go ahead and put this piece down. So this goes on the inside of the card with a 1/16 of an inch border. And these are all in order. So I'm going to keep them in order. Sixteenth of an inch border. This piece, these are still in order. And I just realized I probably shouldn't have put glue on the very tip of this. Just realized I probably shouldn't have put glue on the very tip of that, but it'll be okay because it's going to actually still be on the card. So this piece, this big piece, is going to go right here. And I did tip it just a little bit so that it didn't cover up my greeting. And I see a little spot I didn't pop out. There. I've seen many demonstrators just leave those in there and they look fine. So if you don't get it out, don't worry about it. This piece, the secret is going to be to line up these creases here and here. And we're only going to put glue on the outside inch or so. We don't want it to stick to these center panels. So I'll put plenty of glue, a little bit heavier than I usually do. And then I'm going to fold it up a little bit so I can match that seam, that crease. And then I'll put this piece. Here we want it. I might want it tipped over this way a little bit. It does go a little bit beyond this panel, but I like that. And I have this basic beige ribbon, which I love. I'm going to tie an air bow with it, so I'm just going to make my first loop and hold that and go around. Hold that in the back and then push this other second loop through here. And then the trick is don't pull this end through. Now, when I use the bow maker, it's almost always perfect. My air bows are not. This certainly isn't a perfect bow. I think it looks prettier on this side, so I'll use that one. And I'll trim this here. And I'm just going to put this on with a glue dot over here. Maybe even a couple of glue dots. And it's okay if it hangs over there. And you know what? I think I want to force this one down, so I'm going to put a little glue dot back behind that bow. So I'm just going to stick that back here and force it to go where I want it to go. So there. You make my life better. So pretty. Oh, I love the way those designer series paper look together. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Home near the top of my page and you'll find lots of resources. Under Shop, you can find the products I offer to make crafting more convenient, how to get free products with my frequent shopper rewards, and a link to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Inspiration to scroll all my projects back to 2011, most with detailed directions and videos. Though the products in those older projects have been retired, you may find techniques, layouts, or color combinations to inspire you today. If you're new to stamping, you might want to look at the basics. You'll find how to cut card bases and layers, and some of my favorite tools. Under Organization, you'll find lots of free resources such as catalog tabs, labels and case inserts, color tools, and much more. More organization means more time for stamping. You can learn about my Evernote notebook. I have a note for every current product that Stampin' Up! Has for sale right now. It really makes finding just exactly what you want very easy. And you can create your own notebook and search through all of the things that you own to find just what you need. Come stamp with me here in Ventura County, California, or get the best deal of all and join my team of crafters. The team is called SIP Together, and it stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper Together. Be sure to subscribe to my website and on my YouTube channel. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.